Hello everyone, welcome back. Savard is here, coming back with part 11 of What If Deku Was an Earthbender. Now, where we last left off, Izuku has gone in a fight between him and Dabi, and also Twice. Twice being the support that he is for Dabi. In the end, he and everyone else from the League of Villains to leave the place, while Dabi has left Izuku there with a couple of burns on his body, making him unable to bend the earth anymore, which in the end Aizawa just taken him back into the hospital. And now we continue. Don't forget to like, subscribe of course, and well, let's continue. As Izuku right now in the hospital, he just sitting down saying to himself, damn it, I should have taken Bakugo, but I didn't see him with them. Did they? Wait, that person that named Mr. Compress, he was holding a weird marble, as he was keeping Bakugo there? My head is hurting me. And after that, the door opened up, revealing All Might and Aizawa and Principal Nezu, as All Might said, well, young Midoriya, are you okay? All Might, yeah, I'm okay. My body still recover from the burns. Well, I'm happy to hear this, but I need to ask you a couple of questions. As Principal Nezu said, Midoriya, we were kinda suspicious of you from the first day that you came into UA, and we want to ask you, do you know where's the hideout of the League of Villains? What? Do you think really that I am with the League of Villains? Well, young Midoriya, you have 3 quirks, and this is very suspicious to me. The only person that I know that he's able to give quirks is All for One. So, tell me the truth, Midoriya. Are you working with him? No, of course not. Of course I'm not gonna work with him. Then, as Principal Nezu said, then how are you having 3 quirks? As Izuku said, it's just not... Young Midoriya, tell me the truth. It's just, it's just... He can't tell you. I will gonna tell you the truth. As after that, they look behind, they see Kiyoshi. As All Might said, who's this woman? Well, you know me as the sensei of Izuku, and I can explain to you why Izuku have 3 quirks, as you call it. Well, I would really like from you to explain this. As Kiyoshi said, well, first of all, I will gonna have to know that all 3 of you will never gonna tell anyone about this truth, alright? No one, and I mean no one, should know the truth, or I shall kill you. And I'm not joking here. As All Might said, alright, we will not gonna tell anyone. Just tell us, why does Midoriya have 3 quirks? First of all, he's quirkless. That one. Second of all... Wait. He's quirkless? How is that even possible? As Aizawa said, well, I couldn't ever delete his quirk. I still remember the day in the first day of UA. I wasn't able to delete his quirk, so... this kinda explain it. As All Might said, so, Midoriya, you doesn't have a quirk. Yeah, Mr. Aizawa, this is the truth. I'm quirkless. As Kiyoshi continues saying, and why is he having 3 abilities? Well, as she starts explaining about the earthbenders, without explaining about the other kind of benders, which is of course the air, the water, and the fire. In the end, All Might said, earthbenders, the ability to control earth from ancient time? I really find this hard to believe. Well, if you really find this hard to believe, how about you see an X-ray for Izuku or do some experiment? You will gonna find out that he is quirkless. As Principal Nezu asked some of the doctors to do that, not telling them about Izuku or anything or the Earthbenders, just telling them to do some experiment on Izuku to know if he's quirkless or not. In the end, of course, the result came out, and the doctor left the place. Principal Nezu said, "Well, looks like he's quirkless." Mr. Kiyoshi, Miss Kiyoshi here sits saying the truth. All Might, Izuku Midoriya is quirkless. As All Might saying this and said, "So, this is really truth." As he looked at Izuku and bow in front of her, saying, "I'm sorry, young Midoriya, for always not believing in you. I just let my anger and hatred toward Or for one drive me to believe that one of my best students and one of the most heroic people that I ever see is a villain. I wish that you were gonna forgive me." Of course, All Might, of course. So, do you have anything else you want to say? As Aizawa said, "Well, not really. We we want to tell you too that, of course, that we will gonna go and attack the villain hideout tonight. Momoya Aruzu had given us a tracking device that telling us where's the League of Villains after she put a little tracking device on the Nomu of them. We will gonna go attacking tonight, so you have to be here and make sure to stay okay, Midoriya. Don't worry, we will gonna get Bakugo." As Izuku said, alright. And after that, everyone leaving, Kiyoshi being left with Izuku. As, as Kiyoshi said, "So, are you gonna go or not?" "Of course I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna leave him like this." "Well, if you are gonna go there, Izuku, I'm gonna come with you to make sure that you will not gonna kill yourself." Really, Sensei?" "Of course, you are my student. I can't just leave you to die. And you are the last earthbender, if you included me, of course. You are so important to stay alive so the earthbenders' legacy could continue into other generation in the future, of course. So, meet me outside in the night, alright, Izuku?" As Izuku nodded his head with agreement, and Kiyoshi leave the place. In the end, in the night, Izuku coming out of the hospital and meeting with Kiyoshi behind the hospital, as Kiyoshi said, "Are you ready?" "Of course, Sensei, I'm always ready, steady as stone." As Kiyoshi said, "Alright." And after that, she just lifting up her leg and smash it into the ground, opening a tunnel under the ground, and said, I already know where's the hideout of the League of Villains. I was feeling them using my earth senses. This tunnel will gonna take us immediately into the place." As Izuku going through the tunnel with his master. After that, in the way, Izuku said, "Sensei, if anything goes wrong there, I want to tell you that I'm really thankful for all what you did to me. Nothing will gonna go wrong, Izuku, as long as I'm here. But I'm also happy that you are my student. I'm really happy that I had the chance in my life to train someone as great as you." As after that, they finally got out from the tunnel into a little alleyway. They see the hideout of the League of Villains in front of them. And Izuku said, "Alright, so what should we do?" "Well, let's see through the windows first of all." As Izuku tried to see through the windows, he find a couple of Nomus. Lots of them, actually. As Izuku said, "Wait, are these Nomus?" As Kiyoshi said, "Nomus. Interesting. So, Izuku, when are you gonna attack? But aren't you gonna... I am here to help you, Izuku. I'm not here to put the plan. You are here taking control. Understand this. I will not gonna help you or tell you what to do. You should do this by yourself. This is your friend and you are the only one that can save them." As Izuku said, "Thank you, Sensei." And after that, all of the sudden, a strong gust of wind being thrown inside the building, throwing of course Mount Lady and Gang Orca and Best Genius being in the middle of the way. Best Genius managed to throw the heroes left and right, saving them from the strong gust of wind, while Best Genius got a very strong hit, and Izuku, just start hearing a voice saying, very great move from the number 4 hero, Best Genius. It's really, really great move. You really deserve to be the number 4. Before I was even able to manage to throw my attack on all of you, you got control over the strings in the other people bodies around of you, the other heroes, and take them out of the danger zone before they got hit. But I'm sure that quirkers need a lots of training, right? As Best Gina said, what the hell are you? I'm not gonna give up this easily. As after that, he throw his strings on All for One immediately using air cannon, throwing another gust of wind on him. While Izuku and Kiyoshi still quiet. Kiyoshi not flinching by anything, while Izuku feeling so scared. He's just shaking as All for One said, huh, you must have a lot of training so you will be finally able to control your quirk, right, Best Genius? Well, it will not gonna be useful to me. I don't want it. And after that, All for One just snap his fingers as a weird looking substance start engulfing the place around him. It's like a gray goo. And from that goo, the League of Villains and Bakugo came out as Izuku start hearing someone coughing saying, what the fuck is this? As All for One's right now in front of Bakugo saying, Katsuki Bakugo, I'm quite sorry for the way that I got you here, but I had to do it. I'm happy that you are okay. What the hell? Who are you? Well, I think I didn't introduce myself properly. My name is All for One. And Tomura, are you okay? As Shigaraki said, Sensei, what are you doing here? I am here to help you, Shigaraki. Tomura, of course. I saved you from All Might, and looks like that your plan has fallen apart. But don't worry. Try again as much as you need. I'm sure in the end you're gonna be finally able to do your plan and defeat All Might. I even got Bakugo here because you thought he will gonna be such an important part in your plans. This is all for you, Tomura. Sensei, I, I, I... And after that, Izuku finally decided to move as he just jumped in the air and throwing such a strong wave of rock on All for One. All for One using his right arm, throwing an air cannon on the rocks, throwing the rocks away. Izuku flying away into a side of a building as he smashed into the building, but he managed to control the stones, the stones in the building, so he made his fall much less, being okay. He's right now okay, to say the least. Izuku just come out of the wall and said, I thought that I'm gonna surprise you. As All for One said, well, I kinda was needing a couple of seconds to expect your attack. But in the end, it was really such a move from you, Izuku Midoriya. I really wonder what kind of quirk you keep in your body. And I really want to see what can it do. After that, All for One said, well, Tomura, I think it's time for you to leave the place. I have my own problems here. But, Sensei, you're not okay to fight him. You're not... Don't worry, Tomura. I'll be okay. Just go. as he using his quirk activation ability and forcefully activate Kuragiri quirk by using some tentacles from his fingers. In the end, he said, "Go through the portal with Bakugo." As Shigaraki said, "Alright, sensei." And after that, the League of Villains start fighting against Bakugo, while Izuku is trying to help him, but All for One has attacked him, throwing him away into another side of the place, telling him, "This is my fight. How about you leave Bakugo to fight his own fights, Midoriya, and fight me? Because this is a fight between you and me right now, at least until All Might finally came." As Izuku said, "Alright." As Izuku just looking into the left, he see his sensei looking at him, just watching the fight. As All for One said, "Are you looking at someone?" As All for One looking in the Izuku direction, but he see nothing. He trying to use his senses quirks, but he doesn't feel anyone. Kiyoshi is hiding her presence even from All for One quirks, as he said, "Well, I don't sense anyone here. Anyways, let me end this, and after that, I'm gonna enjoy burning the world with your earth quirk, Midoriya." And after that, All for One starts using his air cannon, throwing a gust of wind on Izuku. Izuku using, of course, his one of his techniques, which is Earth Shark. He open a hole inside the earth and absorbing himself, or just going down under the ground, while All for One has already shot his shot. Izuku was right now under the ground and All for One trying to feel him, but he can't feel him. Izuku has buried himself so deep under the ground that All for One's quirk senses can't even feel him, as he doesn't expect where Izuku is fighting. And after that, from the down of All for One, Izuku just jumping out, throwing a punch of rocks on his face, as he actually managed to throw a punch on All for One mask, breaking it. All for One got hold of Izuku's arm, and after that, he break his arm for him, and as Izuku screamed in pain and said, "Ah, my arm!" As All for One said, "I'm gonna get rid of you." As he put his left arm on Izuku's face, and a red and black crimson lightning start engulf Izuku's body, and All for One said, "I really wonder how someone like you was able to get three quirks. It's really fascinating." As All for One tried to take Izuku quirk, but he couldn't. Izuku taking this chance, he immediately turning the ground under All for One feet into lava. All for One seeing this, he immediately starts using float, which he making him airwalk, start walking in the air as he throw Izuku away and throwing a gust of wind on him. Izuku making a wall of course lava rising in front of him, and after that turning the lava into obsidian, blocking the attack of the air cannon of All for One. All for One said, "I couldn't take it." Huh, interesting. You are quirkless. You are quirkless, Midoriya. How in the hell you have powers then? As Izuku said, "I'm not gonna give up that easily, and I don't have to tell him anything." As Izuku starts thinking to himself, "Alright, Midoriya, Bakugo is fighting against the League of Villains. I can't go all out in this situation. While my left arm is broken, I'll have to cover it with stone so I can use it at least, or maybe keep it safe. Sensei will not gonna help me. She want to see what can I do. She will not gonna help me. So this is a fight to the death. Alright, think of a plan, Midoriya. Think of a plan." And after that, All for One just throwing another gust of wind on Izuku while he's thinking. Izuku immediately making a wall of obsidian in front of him after turning the lava into obsidian, blocking the attack as he cover his left arm with of course earth or stones so he can protect it and also start using it while it's still broken. After that, he made like a platform under his legs and start flying into the air as he start, using some rocks or the rubbles around the place, throwing it on All For One. All For One just using a shield quirk and just using a couple of quirks, air cannon, and also his tentacles. As after a couple of blocks from All For One using his air cannon against Izuku rocks, he immediately using his black tentacles, wrap it around Izuku leg and throw him into a building without even looking at him. As after that he just spin around and throw a gust of wind on Izuku. Izuku protecting himself using the stone around him from the walls behind of him, protecting himself, but the buildings start to collapse. As after that, Izuku seeing a woman and a kid about to be crushed, as he immediately tried to hold the building, but it's so hard to him as he said, "Oh, come on, run away!" As All For One coming from behind said, "Ah, Midoriya, this still the hero that I know you are. But are you ready to die for those people to live?" As Izuku can't really attack All For One now, because he is right now trying to protect the kid and the woman. The woman and the kid tried to run away, but the building will gonna even crush them even in the... Right now they still in the danger zone, so Izuku still need to hold the building a little bit longer, as All For One from behind getting ready to throw a gust of wind on Izuku's chest. But before that happened, Kiyoshi throwing her own gust of wind on All For One, throwing him away. And after that, of course, she just looking at Izuku while she flying in the air using an earth platform under her leg, as she said, "Don't worry, Midori, I'm gonna take this from here. You go and continue your fight," as Izuku said, "Thank you, sensei." And after that, All Might come into the scene as he said, "All for one!" as he goes smashing into All For One, but All For One immediately dodging All Might into the left side and throwing a gust of wind into his immediately injury, which making All Might being thrown away. And after that he just de-transform into his small might form, as everyone is watching this from the, of course, the helicopters. After that, Izuku watching this, he jumped in front of All Might and said, "All Might, are you okay?" As All Might said, "Midoriya, run away from here. You're not gonna defeat him." As All For One said, "Ah, All Might, still the idiot old smiley trash bag. Well, I think it's time to end you." As Izuku looking on Bakugo that he fighting so hard against the League of Villains, and looking at All For One that he's right now getting ready, putting a lots of quirks into his right arm, as Izuku getting angry. And after that he just breathing heavily saying, I'm gonna but he remember his training, as he said, "Calm down, Midoriya, calm down. Be like a mountain that don't flinch by the air of the storm. Stay focused on your target and think clearly." And after that, Izuku immediately having an idea, as he look at Bakugo and open a hole under his leg, teleporting him, or not teleporting him, open a hole under his leg and making him go through a tunnel by the side of Kiyoshi, and also opening a little hole under All Might feet and just throwing him away. After that, he make a walls around the League of Villains, capturing them inside the box, as Shigaraki said, "What the?" But before Shigaraki managed to hit, touch the wall, Izuku covering his arms with stones, stopping him from using his quirk. Dabi tried to use his quirk, but it doesn't work. And after that, Izuku just throw them away, as he's still in front of All For One, while he's just with such a emotionless expression, as All For One said, "What? Are you gonna fight me alone? All For One, the symbol of peace, couldn't defeat me. Why do you think you will be able to do that?" As Izuku making a platform under his legs and said, "Because I'm an earthbender, and I will not gonna be flinched by the storm. I'm a mountain that stay in its place, that will never gonna be destroyed. So I wish that you will gonna get ready for my next attack, because it's time for you to fear the wrath of the rock." as all of one starts chuckling to himself, saying, "What do you think yourself, kid? You really are so pathetic." As Izuku said, "Maybe you should look above you before you talk to me like this." As Izuku raising his left hand while he's still on a platform in the middle of the air. A couple of seconds goes by, but nothing happened while all for one is just waiting for what Izuku is about to do. As he said, "What? What are you trying to do?" As after that, the helicopter or the person that in the helicopter start flying a little bit away. As all for one starts seeing on the ground a shadow covering all the place. As he said, "What?" And he looking up, he see a ginormous meteorite above his head. As Izuku said, "I wonder if you will be able to do that." While everyone else is just watching this, Kiyoshi has already took All Might and Bakugo away from there after saving a couple of peoples with the other heroes. The heroes start leaving the place. Shigaraki and the League of Villains have left the place too, but they couldn't go through the portal. They've been captured by, of course, none other than Endeavor and a couple other heroes because Izuku was covering them with stone, all for one being under the meteorite. As he said, "Well, you're certainly a real challenge, more than All Might." As after that, all for one throwing his punch on the meteorite as Izuku's just forcing the meteorite on All for One and All for One using all his power to destroy it, and in the end, All for One managed to destroy the meteorite into pieces. As he said, "Well, that was kinda strong." And Izuku said, "Well, you done a great job, but I wonder, can you block the second one?" As All for One suddenly shocked and he looking up, he see another meteorite. As immediately Izuku without hesitation crush All for One under the meteorite and making sure that he will not gonna move any longer. And after that, Izuku just suddenly start breathing heavily and start falling from the sky. Kiyoshi got hold of him using her airbending ability and put him on the ground. As Izuku said, "That was kinda hard." "Well, you done a great job, Midoriya. I never You really are such an amazing, talented kid." As Izuku said, "Thank you, sensei." As Izuku fall to sleep and everyone were watching this, they start screaming in Izuku's name. And after everything done, we cut into 1 week in UA. As Izuku and Bakugo are walking in and Bakugo said, "So, what are you gonna do after the school today, Deku?" "Well, I'm planning to go into the forest and train, of course. Sensei told me that I really don't need to learn how to control sand, but I think, I need to learn every single technique of the earthbenders in the end." Duh, whatever. Do you want to do you want me to come? Because I want to beat your ass." "Well, yeah, you can come if you want." As after that, Izuku come into UA as a lots of students and some transporter outside of UA are just taking photos of him. And Baku said, "Get away from here, extras! We're walking here." As Izuku said, "Calm down a little bit." As Izuku just getting into UA with Bakugo while everyone is just, looking at him, they making some high fives and things like that. In the end, Izuku got into the class. And, Aizawa said, "Well, student, good morning. Today we will gonna do a normal class, is not really that much." As Izuku and everyone start doing a normal class day, and in the end, Izuku has done from the class as he told Bakugo that he actually want to, go alone today into the forest. He have something important to say to his master. As Bakugo just leave Izuku, and Izuku finally got into the mountain that he told his master to meet him in. And Izuku, right now standing behind his master as Kiyoshi said, "Izuku, did you come?" As Izuku said, "Yes, sensei, I come the moment that you told me to come. What is so important that you want to tell me?" As Izuku right now bowing in front of her as Kiyoshi said, "Izuku, You are the best earthbender that I ever saw in my life. You are so strong and so talented, and you defeated someone that has been putting, of course, putting a scare of. You even defeated the simple fear himself, someone that was hurting people from a long time. So I want to make sure that you will gonna stay as strong as and as powerful as always. I want to make sure that you will always be the great hero that you will gonna become in the future. As Izuku said, thanks Sensei, but I really don't understand, what do you want from this? As Kiyoshi said, sit on your knees, Izuku. As Izuku sit on his knees, Kiyoshi putting her hand on Izuku's head, and immediately after that she closed her eyes as she opened them up, and immediately her eyes start to glow white as Izuku has started to glowing also white. And immediately after that, Kiyoshi just taken off her hand and said, there, it's done. As Izuku said, what is done? As Kiyoshi said, just try to throw an earth there, Izuku. Try to throw a rock. As Izuku tried this, but instead of a rock, a strong flames coming out of his hand as Izuku said, what the? And immediately after that, he tried again, but this time an air has come out. As Izuku said, but Sensei, how did you? I was expecting that when I die, another avatar will gonna come, but I want you to be the next avatar, Izuku. You deserve this power, and I'm sure that you will gonna use it for the right thing. As Izuku starts tearing up and immediately go hugging his sensei, saying, thank you, Sensei, thank you. Don't worry, Izuku. Just use this power for the right thing. And this is gonna leave it off, guys. This is the end of the series. I hope that you enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. Well, Kiyoshi just giving her avatar powers to Izuku, Katsuki, Bakugo, and everyone else in UA class has still the normal class. Bakugo became friend with Izuku, at least in his own way, and All Might has retired. Well, this is the end. I hope that you enjoyed watching it, of course, and don't expect the time done yet. I'm still didn't make my 200 special because I'm gonna make a season 2 of What If Deku Had the Chromation. If you didn't watch the season 1, you will gonna see it all in the channel in a playlist. Well, I have nothing more to say than Severed was here.